All right, now in fact, let's shift our focus to the latest developments which we are tracking, the big story. In fact, Dalai Lama said that 600-year-old institution will continue after his death. He said that the institution of the Dalai Lama will continue, and the Gaden Phodrang Trust has sole authority to recognize the future reincarnation. He said, and I quote, "I am affirming that the institution of the Dalai Lama will continue," unquote. Arzu Seth is joining me live on the telecast. Arzu, that's a big statement. The world was waiting to hear from what was being anticipated, Dalai Lama's succession statement that followed, as now it is being confirmed that Dalai Lama has issued a statement on the reincarnation and said that the 600-year-old institution is going to continue. Share more details.
In this statement, the Dalai Lama reaffirmed that the institution of the Dalai Lama will continue following wide concentration and public appeal. And he references his 2011 declaration where he said that the decision about the future of the Dalai Lama's reincarnation should rest with the Tibetan people and spiritual leaders. And despite no public discussion since then, the Dalai Lama states that over the past 14 years, he has received consistent and earnest appeal from the Tibetan leaders, Tibetan parliament in exile, Buddhist communities worldwide, including Tibet, the Himalayan region, Russia, and China, and beyond, urging him to continue the institution. And he confirmed that his constitution, the office of His Holiness, the Dalai Lama, holds the exclusive authority to recognize a future Dalai Lama. The process must adhere to traditional procedures and also involve consultation from Tibetan Buddhist leaders and protesters, and also he reiterates that no other party or China has the right to interfere in the incarnation process. So yes, the statement has come, and it was very important, as he also informed that at a meeting of the head of Tibetan spiritual tradition, he made a statement to fellow Tibetan in and outside Tibet, followers of Tibetan Buddhism, and those who are have a connection with the Tibet and Tibetans regarding whether the institution of the Dalai Lama should continue. And he said that I stated, as far as back in 1969, I made clear that the concerned people should decide whether Dalai Lama's reincarnation should continue in the future.
Yes, absolutely. In fact, now Arzu, we are also moving forward with these updates that you are putting in focus. Professor Madhav Nalapad joins me, who is a editorial director at the Sunday Guardian, joins me live on the telecast. Sir, appreciate you joining me this morning. That's a big development that we are looking at. And at the meeting today, a big statement has been issued over the succession of the 14th Dalai Lama. And right now, in fact, it is being said that the institution, the 600-year-old institution is going to stay. How do you react at the statement?
Well, I would like to say that it's completely in line with ancient Tibetan tradition, and now this particular council, this particular group will have the sole discretion to decide on the next Dalai Lama once the present Dalai Lama goes into eternity. And that is a very welcome movement, because the institution of Dalai Lama is absolutely central in the culture of Tibet. If you go to Tibet, you will find that the institution of Dalai Lama is absolutely central in Tibetan life, and frankly, only the Dalai Lama reincarnation chosen by this committee will have any religious sanction, and any other so-called Dalai Lama chosen by those who are in other institutions will have no spiritual sanction and will not be taken as spiritual guides by the Tibetan community. So I think it's a very welcome development, and I do believe that it is very important that the committee meet and discuss the various prospects for reincarnation, and the young child with the proper attributes, the qualities for reincarnation, as the Dalai Lama, 15th Dalai Lama, that young child will be anointed the 15th Dalai Lama. And in my view, this statement is very, very important. There is no other group that can decide the real Dalai Lama. You can have fraudulent people coming forward, but that is a different matter. The reality, the actual Dalai Lama, the 15th incarnation, will be decided by this committee, and that is entirely with the ancient tradition of the Tibetan people, and especially the very, very noble spiritual institution of the Dalai Lama.
Absolutely. In fact, as the town of Dharamshala is all abuzz with the expectation of what happens next as it prepares to celebrate the 90th birthday of the exiled Tibetan spiritual leader. All right, Vijay Kranti, China Ladakh affairs expert, joins me live this morning. Sir, appreciate you joining me live. The world is watching, in fact, what happens, and the world is waiting, was in fact also in the waiting for the event that is considered to be a milestone, as it was expected that today, just days before Dalai Lama turns 90, there is going to be a big announcement on his succession. Now, after the statement has been made, it is confirmed that the 600-year-long institution is going to stay. How do you react to the statement for, in fact, the future of these Tibetan leaders as well, and also these people who have been expecting to hear this?
Yeah. The statement, although I must admit, number one, I specialize not in Ladakh, I specialize in Tibet and China. I have not read the full text of the statement till now, but I have seen the main points. It very clearly reflects Dalai Lama's earlier stand that the institution of Dalai Lama belongs to Tibet and Tibetan people and not to Chinese. So President Xi Jinping has been going mad since years and has been announcing that the next reincarnation of Dalai Lama will be property of the Chinese Communist Party. Which is very funny. A communist party who has no faith in religion, who doesn't believe in reincarnation, who has been condemning Dalai Lama in every dirty word in the communist dictionary for last 70 years, and the communist party who has occupied Tibet illegally and has been facing the ire of the local Tibetan people. Today, they want to claim that the institution of Dalai Lama belongs to Tibet, belongs to China and Chinese Communist Party. This is very funny, and I think today's statement of Dalai Lama will finally put a seal on a controversy which has been raging since quite a few years. And after this, I don't think there will be any new big development on this issue. China will go on announcing that it will install the next Dalai Lama. But since Dalai Lama has already made it clear today that the institution belongs to Tibet and Tibetan people, and it is he who decides according to the Tibetan tradition about his reincarnation, and Dalai Lama has made so many statements already in the past that he will not take rebirth in a country from where he ran away, or in the hands of a political party and a government of China who has been against him and who forced him to run away from Tibet. So he said that since I am fighting for the cause of Tibet and the Tibetan people, because of the occupation of Tibet by Chinese army, so there is no reason that my next incarnation will go and be born in an area controlled by Chinese Communist Party or Chinese People's Liberation Army. So today's statement, Dalai Lama has made it clear that the entire authority on the process of finding next incarnation of Dalai Lama, which means he is 14th and about the 15th Dalai Lama's rebirth, will be governed by the Gaden Phodrang, which is the private office of Dalai Institution of Dalai Lama. So I look at it as a final answer to President Xi Jinping's claims that the Tibetan tradition of Dalai Lama and other reincarnate tulkus belongs to the Communist Party of China. So I think now whatever Xi Jinping comes out, we will watch it very carefully. But of course, whatever he says, it may be only a matter of laughing for those people who understand Tibet, who understand Buddhism, who understand Dalai Lama institution, who understand the process of reincarnation, and who know the Communist Party of China.
All right, in fact, thank you very much, sir, for joining us live this morning and giving us your time over these developments that we are putting in focus. Now, joining me live on the telecast is also Tenzin Sungde, who's a writer and activist. At this point of time, the big statement and the development has come. The Dalai Lama's succession plan comes with the significant complexities, and particularly in addressing China's interference and ongoing efforts in the reincarnation process. Tibetans have long maintained over the process of recognizing the reincarnations of the Lamas in the Tibetan Buddhism in solely a uniquely Tibetan religious tradition. And with that, Dalai Lama's recent big announcement just ahead, he turns 90, has broken the silence over what happens to the ongoing future of this religious institution. How do you react, sir, and how do you look at it? How do you in fact react to these developments taking place?
Hello, yeah, do you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, so His Holiness the Dalai Lama made the first important step today, and that is the confirmation that there will be 15th Dalai Lama. There will be the reincarnation of him who, even here among us, he's live, he's healthy, he's doing great, but he has taken the first important step today by announcing that there will be 15th Dalai Lama. And he said that this decision is not just his own call. He said that the entire Tibetan population around the world, people in the Himalayas, Indian people who love and respect His Holiness the Dalai Lama, Tibetan Buddhists in Europe, in America, and everywhere, everybody put together, they have asked His Holiness the Dalai Lama that there should be the reincarnation, and His Holiness the Dalai Lama has played such an important role in the international community and for world peace and for Tibet.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Tenzin, for being with us on the telecast and for being with us on this very development. Thank you very much. Now, with that, viewers, with more news and updates on the other side, it's time to slip into a short break.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.